No, hold on.
Episode
Is
15.
15.
Can you see the cameras from there, John?
Yeah.
Can you see my van?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not gone yet.
I'll be dealing with someone nicking all my tools or something
Crims.
that are just about...
So you know,
I can't see the back
sometimes
doors.
Newbury has a vibe, a weird kind of a vibe.
What,
just
Newbury Jiu-Jitsu or Newbury in general?
No, just like in town.
What, full of
Sometimes
crackheads?
it changes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll be going through town and it's like, oh, this is nice, little market town.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you're like, fucking hell. Like, I don't know where I am. There's county line kids all over the town with their little
Oh, I could tell you a story about
scooters
that.
and their little bags. It's just got a weird, like it's really up and down.
Yeah.
I was in
sometimes.
Milk and Bean yesterday or the day before.
I heard about that, yeah.
How'd you hear about it?
Milk and
'Cause-
Bean, actually, that's a chance to give them a shout out. Milk and Bean, best coffee in all of town.
How did you hear about that?
I have little birds
told you.
everywhere. I've got little birds everywhere, mate.
They told you.
Nothing happens in this town without me knowing about it.
Oh, this didn't, right? Going out for a... You were just saying about Newbury. Going out
Yeah.
for a Valentine's meal on Friday.
Where's my invite?
Well...
Hold on, that's the wrong one.
No, when it was Valentine's, John, you were probably driving to fucking like Russia or something. Like, you could have been anywhere. I wouldn't. You could have rang me up and said, "I've just taken a flight to Australia," and I'd have gone, "Yeah, all right, yeah, fair."
I think I was just sat up here.
Oh, fair enough. All right, that's quite sad. Anyway, yeah. So going for a Valentine's meal, coming out of Kennett Centre, I've just parked the car, walking out, and just some like 13-year-old kids absolutely going at each other, and then don't know what happened, but some girls were filming it, and I was shouting at them, and then I said anyway.
Why did you get involved?
Well, I don't know, because I don't know.
Did they do
really.
like an underhook wrong or something?
Yeah, I was like, your technique's terrible. No, but then apparently, so honestly, they had only been about 12, 13. A couple came up to us afterwards and said, lucky you didn't get involved. Apparently one of them got a knife out of their pocket. Yeah, so
Fucked him in the ball sack.
Kids.
that's it.
I tell you what, people who carry knives can go fuck themselves.
It's ridiculous. It's cowardly.
Yeah.
That's all it is cowardly.
Yeah. Weak.
Yep.
What if I want to protect myself?
Well, why can't you protect
What if I want to...
I know
for protection.
I know your jiu-jitsu is fucking awful, but a knife is not the answer.
Now I'm going to stab you.
I like, to be fair,
I'm going to wet you.
I like the videos that the guys from Ippon do, don't they? With I think it's like
the knife.
Harry, Leo,
Yeah.
and that, and they do the fake knives or whatever, and
Yeah.
put one in the middle of the mat and like
Fight for it.
jiu-jitsu versus knife and stuff. That's quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do we get to that?
Kids.
You had a story about, because
That was
you
it,
mentioned
that was
about
the story.
Newbury's a bit different.
Yeah, so like sometimes, and it's normally coming to the race, like when it's coming up to race day,
Yeah.
because there's an influx of drugs and stuff
Yobbos.
like that, and just people trying to kind of, I suppose, capitalise on the fact that the races are coming up, so people are going to be looking for
Good business sense.
drugs and
To be
stuff.
fair.
And obviously, we're right on the train line out of London.
Yeah.
Londoners
Old Landon.
coming here
Yeah.
with their drugs and stuff.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Newbury's got no drugs.
Well, you'd know because you're probably number one kingpin supplier now.
Yeah, if you start seeing a bunch of South American
Black Rock heroin.
looking people in Newbury,
Yeah.
it's because of John.
Yeah.
John's the linchpin now with the Mexicans.
Call him L Morgan.
Morgan.
Oh, right.
Anyway, I don't know how we got there.
Fuck's sake, let's go.
Don't start with me. You always start with me.
Oh,
Start
How are
with
you,
Sam.
Sam?
Yeah, Sam.
yeah, I'm all right.
You always say the
Mason, how
same
are you?
thing as well. He always says, we always say to him, how are you? And he goes, yeah, I'm all right.
That's because I am all right.
Yeah, I know.
I'm absolutely.
Come on, talk.
I'm absolutely.
There has to be something.
fine.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
Something about your
insecure.
jiu-jitsu.
That's what it stands for.
Name me.
My mum always like. So anytime I speak to my mum, I say, "Oh yeah, I'm fine." She goes, "That stands." She says that stands for fucked up, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
Oh, God.
Because it's FINE.
Yeah.
I was like, oh,
I know I'm stupid, but I can spell.
Sometimes.
Cheers, mate.
Anyway, yeah, pretty non-stop at the minute, pretty hectic with work, which is good as a self-employed person, like all of us are, but so lots of work, so kind of hectic, but that's good. And then trying to find time and space to then social and stuff, and then also time to train without training too much and neglecting the family responsibilities and all that stuff. So the more stuff's going on, the harder it is to find the balance, and try not to burn out and all that standard stuff that we all probably do or don't really notice it, and then you've got to wind it.
Before.
Yeah, that's not like you at all. never known either of you or me to burn out. Yeah, but generally everything's good. Family are fine. I'm in good health. Got a dodgy. I think I slept a bit weirdly on my neck last night.
Good. I know where I'm attacking later.
Yeah, fuck yourself.
Need to hit up Robin for a massage.
Yeah,
Sweet Aesthetics.
that's how I know you were in. You went to Milk and Bean.
Ah,
See, I know everything. You
What,
were
did
in
you go
there
there with her?
With her,
yeah.
a
Just
married
went to go
woman.
collect
Married
something.
lady.
Yeah, we're friends.
Is that what you've come to now?
Jesus Christ, no.
You stooped very low.
Do we need a paternity test on that baby? John?
No, you don't.
Comes out 120 kilos and ginger. Fuck.
Junior?
Just a brown belt wrapped round.
Where's my crew bags? Yeah. So apart from being busy and the struggles that comes alongside that stuff, which is good but can't be kind of ignored, can't be neglected, because otherwise you'll be overrun. So easy to feel overwhelmed when there's lots going on, because then something else will happen. It's like, oh, we said we meet with these people on this
Yeah.
day, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
No, and go into kind of can't deal with it kind of mode. So I've got to stay on top of my scheduling and all that crap.
That's why I like training though.
Why? Because you get to.
I feel like even when I'm feeling like that, I just go and train, and I'm like, yeah, for the next hour, like, fuck it, like,
Nothing matters.
yeah,
So it's interesting for me how training puts a timestamp on your schedule. Because
Yeah,
like
yeah.
if you know you train on a Tuesday, a Thursday, and a Saturday, if you train those days of the week, they're kind of like your anchor points.
yeah,
Whereas I didn't train on Saturday, which I, nearly every week I'll train on a Saturday, and I didn't do it this week, and I was all right, but I was a bit out of whack because I was like, oh, I don't know because I thought Saturday was Sunday and got the end of the weekend like, oh shit, I've got to do this, that, and the
but
other.
that probably feels quite nice then, because you're like,
But then
I've
you
got an
realise
extra
you've
day
got to
tomorrow.
yeah. But it just points out how like trading on a regular basis
Yeah.
at the same days every week keeps
The-
you kind of grounded.
To be
in
fair, the
calendar.
only thing to say about like doing that on a Saturday is that, like, I love training on a Saturday, but it's like slap bang in the middle of the day, so you can't really do anything before,
It's quite
and
a big
then
chunk out of
yeah,
your morning.
and then afterwards it's like,
Just want to chill.
well, with us, by the time you've like settled Koa and then like walked the dogs and then you've had dinner or whatever, and you're like, oh, it's Saturday night now.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only
Saturday
thing.
just disappears.
So that's how I am. We can do you at the end if you're so
Percentage.
sick of being first.
Percentage.
Percentage.
Our percentage. I don't want to say the same number.
What do you
I'm
normally
Say
say?
something different.
No,
Say
I
10.
always say I'm an 80. I always say,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I'm around an 80. So I reckon
Just
I'm.
means you've got a good balance.
I'm around a 79%.
Yeah, I'm at like maybe 79.5, something like that.
Not bad, not bad. Something went wrong.
Fucking hell, so he's dropped off a 0.5%, so we
Yeah.
better keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's all right. John,
Hold me.
Me?
how's... See this when we get to this section, this could be anything.
You just never know what you're
It's
going to get
like-
anymore.
Yeah,
Stab in the dark.
It's been pretty basic, really. Just work.
just one drive to Scotland.
Yeah, only one.
No, I haven't done a huge amount, to be fair. Just working. Work's quiet, so I've just been doing stuff on the computer, website stuff, sorting out different projects.
Creating the Jude Idiots website.
That and another one.
It's really good. You should all go check it out.
Jude Idiots.
Yeah.
No,
Dot co.
Judidiots.
www.judeidiots.co.uk.
Yeah.
Which
Go
is-
check it out. It's really good right now.
JIUJIDIOTS.co.uk.
Yes.
Thanks, Sam.
I'll have to check
Coming
that
soon.
afterwards because I might spell it wrong.
I always spelled.
Did you click on it
Did
to
you?
see
I
what
always-
showed up?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, thanks.
Did
I
you
always,
see the picture as well?
Yeah. I always spelled jujitsu wrong.
Oh,
It's
dear.
quite a difficult.
Yeah, it's a weird.
Is it a difficult word to spell, or is that just me being weird?
racist? You mean?
It's just a hard word to spell, isn't it?
Why? Because it's not
'cause
English.
It's not phonetic. It's not. You don't. It's not how. It's not the simplest. If you chose to spell it, you would spell it differently.
This is going to sound really retarded right now,
Here we go.
but jujitsu
Yeah,
is what language?
Japanese.
But is it a translated to English Japanese? Because obviously they don't write.
That's a good question. Actually, it's not a stupid question. I think it must be
Because jujitsu,
the
like,
English version.
but that's not an English word, is it? This is really throwing my brain off right now. But do you see what I mean? Like,
Yes.
yeah,
I do see what you mean. But it's like how you would have to write konnichiwa or something.
I wrote that to you the other day.
Yeah, in English letters.
Yeah.
But that's not its intended.
Yeah,
like, that's not
yeah.
how it actually.
So that has
actually
been
exists.
translated to an English spelling.
So yeah, so the English can spell it and speak it.
Got it.
I suppose.
Got it. And that would that be the same for like everything, like judo?
Ask Daisy.
Yeah, and which I forget which
Daisy's Chinese.
Yes.
But
speaks Japanese.
yes,
Yeah.
She can speak Japanese.
There's quite
Yeah.
a lot of crossover with the alphabet
Yeah.
and the symbols and kaiju. I think they're called kaiju. Which might be me being a retard now.
What is the
Which
way
also
they
makes me think of the giant stuff in Godzilla and stuff.
She taught me
I've never seen
something.
Which are also called that.
They're called what?
Is it the same as the alphabet? Let me speak to Daisy because I don't want to.
Yeah, don't worry.
Really stupid
I'll let
on-
myself sound like an idiot. You keep yourself as an intellectual.
Yeah, that's right. The smart one of
Yeah.
the group.
Yeah, I've always thought that because whenever I look at the word jujitsu, I'm always like, that's not an English word, but it is an English word, but it's just an English translated word.
Yes, from
Like if
the
someone was to write,
because it's only 2 pictures in Japanese.
Yeah, but if someone was to write like bonjour, bonjour,
Yeah.
What was the first one you said?
Well, no, because that's
When you said
bonjour.
that's different though, because French is has the English I said the English alphabet. It's the Anglo-Roman whatever, the Latin alphabet.
Check out this podcast.
That's right.
Yeah,
Who knew?
So we
not me.
legit
That's
stuff
what I'm
there.
asking.
alphabet as all the other European
Oh
languages.
right, okay, so that's not the same.
But if you go to Russia, let's say, it's all different. So that's something different, all over again.
Dagestan.
That's probably also Russian, isn't it? Yeah.
Send him Dagestan 2
years.
maybe 3
Forget.
years. I forget. What?
So how
Yeah, so-
are you in terms of your percentage?
I finished off with like training.
Yeah,
How's
yeah.
training's going well.
Yeah.
Getting back into it a bit more consistently.
You're
Yeah.
training?
Debating, competing again.
Fuck.
It's been nearly 2 years, I think.
Do you know what though? I thought that
What?
the other day. I just like trying to compete again, get
Yeah.
back on the
I thought
competition horse.
it's been nearly 2 years since I last stepped on the mat, and the last one was a super fight, which was controversial.
You're admitting that then?
What? It was controversial.
Yeah.
It is controversial. Some people say the hook wasn't in. Some people saw a toe in. Depending on what camera angle
Sometimes
you looked
maybe
at
good, sometimes maybe shit.
it. But yeah, don't know whether I want to
There's
or
a big
not.
difference between putting your toe in and your whole foot.
Yeah, there is a big
You
difference.
can ask a lot of people in life about that.
Just
Yeah.
the tip.
Yeah.
Just the tip. But
That's all you need sometimes.
percentage wise, I'll probably say today maybe 50.
Ooh.
50.
Yeah.
That's
Running
pretty
low.
low for someone who just
Was on
didn't
a-
have much to
Yeah.
talk about.
No. Round
No,
about-
I don't know if we can
Hold on,
skim
no,
straight over
no.
that, John. 50%
That's
is
quite low.
like,
Yeah, just taking a hit, I think.
You okay?
I think so. Potentially.
No, you really okay?
Possibly.
turn off the mics, turn off the mics.
No, I think I just, as you say, like I try to do too much, and then things that do bother me, I try and just ignore by doing other things. So like I'm just sinking myself in to try and do more with work, I think. So, and then also training.
Yeah, and then when you try to do quite a lot and then you don't have the capacity to do as much as you'd like to, you probably beat yourself up about it.
Yeah, and
That's
then when
definitely
things
something
don't
I
go to plan, it just bothers me even more.
Yeah.
And then it just ruins my mood completely.
I feel like you need an open mat.
Yeah, that's why as soon as Bernie said open mat today, I was like, yes.
Yeah.
2 hours of just going.
Open mat, open mat. We can all apply the ecological approach to jiu-jitsu.
That's only how I ever
do
train,
open
Sam.
mats. Just
Yeah.
only open mats. And
I'd love
then
that.
everyone will become killers.
Yeah.
I quite enjoy, like when we train at Sean's, watching people roll and then just like talking to them as they roll.
To be fair, I like
Explain
doing that.
stuff.
Yeah.
Because like from an outsider's perspective,
Yeah.
you see a lot more of what's going on than.
But then I don't think that's ecological, is it?
No, just,
No, that's
Because
a
it-
coached role.
Yeah, that's
isn't
a coach
it?
role, yeah. Because I find it really strange. I don't know
it
if
would
you,
be good to get Jack on and talk about.
I know, I do.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
definitely would.
But yeah, I find that even if when you're watching someone roll, even if it's not your game, you can normally help them in something else that you
Yeah.
wouldn't even normally necessarily train in, if that makes
'cause
sense.
it's like simple things for like a white belt when they're like trying to pass a guard or something, and the person on bottom is getting their knee back in. They end up holding on for dear life, trying to just hold the position rather than thinking about controlling the hip line or taking a step back, go backwards a little bit to then be able to come forwards again.
Yeah.
All sorts of things like that, which someone talking from an outsider's perspective can help quite a lot.
I feel like that's where
That's why I made the comment on the post about like if you want some help or
don't ask you, because
Yeah.
you made a big point once about saying that you hate people talking to you at open mats.
no, that's like that's
Remember
during
that,
a
John?
roll.
Do you
That's during a
remember
roll.
that? Yeah.
I mean,
You said if anyone comes up and even tries to speak
Yeah.
to me, anyone who is like maybe
Just
purple
peasant
belt
spec.
or lower,
Yeah.
they can get fucked.
That was
Don't
his
speak to me.
exact word.
But if
Never
I,
again.
it's like a dog though. But if I approach you, it's fine.
Oh, right, yeah.
So
Is it different if you're on or off of your lead?
yeah,
Yeah, like a dog.
yeah.
Yeah.
If I'm on the lead, leave me alone.
Then you can always tell when someone's got snacks on their pocket.
Yeah. If
Yeah.
my belt's tied properly, leave me alone.
I don't think you can tie your belt properly.
All right, so we'll keep an eye on John. He's at 50%.
Yeah.
So
What's
if you
Mason
come
on?
to open mat tonight and he's not looking good,
Kill
don't-
him.
Don't fucking talk to him.
No, just kill him.
He's already at 50%.
But if you hear this, then it's too late.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
this isn't going out on
No, it is.
This one's a bit late. Way late.
YouTube live, like on the radio.
Oh, yeah, it's not supposed to... Is it supposed to...
It's usually out
Oh,
like
fuck.
2-3 hours ago.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, and we started late.
Yeah, John started.
for various reasons.
Yeah.
We were late before we even
So I'm
started.
gonna have
Yeah.
to do a speedy turnaround. Anyway, right, let's move on swiftly. Mason, how are you?
Yeah, I'm all right. I'm fine.
Fucked up, insecure,
Yeah.
neurotic, and emotional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm all right. Tired. Busy. Work's busy. Life's busy.
Training's busy.
Not busy. Trying not. Does it sound a weird thing to say that I'm trying not to make my training busy?
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like I'm working toward in training. I'm working towards goals and stuff, and so I'm just like it wouldn't be like micro focused, but
No, but you got to keep it pretty simple.
yeah.
Because your life is probably complicated enough.
I would say that I'm glad I'm doing this point in my life with baby and stuff like that when I'm the level I am. Because I feel like if I'd have just been introduced to jiu-jitsu, or if I was like, you know, trying to take a lot of information on and learning, I feel like
a beginner.
I could see why a lot of people would quit, take the time off now. But I think I'm lucky in the sense that I've trained enough over however God knows however many fucking years it's been now that I can,
Pretty much a purple belt.
Well, I don't know. But
Make him squirm.
yeah. But basically, yeah, like as in like I like to I can turn up without having to focus my
Sounds like a brown belt now.
brain power.
Just getting hungry.
Just give me my black belt. But yeah, that's in a sense.
No, so I had the same thing after Ripley was born with my job,
Yeah.
because I'd like joined the police and I was in it and I'd done my tutorship stage, so technically I was just kind of in it and carrying on, and everything that had been ticked off. But when you're trying to absorb a bunch of stuff, you're still a beginner in something, and then you add that to like the hours to like crappy pay, and it's like this. Like I'm doing a really difficult, complicated thing that I care a lot about.
That's it. Exactly,
I can't have any other aspect of my life be as difficult and complicated. So you've got to streamline the rest of it so you can really be there for the best bit or the most important bit to you.
Yeah. It's like
so I get that.
I wouldn't want to, like, basically to put it in this perspective of like, you can see why, like me, so like I've been in the position where I've trained a bit, quit, and it's always because of like the life stuff, or this has happened, that's happened, and I've always left. But now I think because I've committed for a good amount of time and I've got to the level I'm up to now, like I'm in the right position to carry on training forever, and I've had a baby and I'm like busy at work and stuff, because I don't have to like put my all, like when I go and train, it's actually a release rather than like I need to know this, I need to know how they did that, I need to do that, if you know what I mean. So it helps.
And now that you're a purple belt, you can skip all the warm-ups and stuff as well.
Not a purple belt.
Level.
I am
Purple belt level.
But he does seem to skip a lot.
I am a blue belt.
Yeah.
Guys.
Even the drilling, he seems to be skipping sometimes.
Does that make you a sandbagging blue belt or a sandbagging purple belt?
I don't think is there such thing?
Let's not get into this now.
No.
Okay, so what's your percentage?
10.
Oh
10.
no.
You got to calm down.
I don't know. Maybe 70.
What was it last week?
I don't know.
So I got a question.
Yeah.
When you think of the percentage, how do you come to
I
that
don't know.
number?
That's what I mean. Well, I would say 50% is like.
That's low.
Yeah, I would say if I went below 50%, like.
But then that's subjective, though, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because like John's 50 could be the same as our 70, let's say.
Yeah.
Or it might not be. I don't know. No. So your 50 is what?
Shit.
Bad. Oh, okay. Well, there you go.
But yeah, no, I don't know. I
About
don't
a couple
know.
of days.
It's a really difficult question, because it's like, I feel like I've got a lot going on right now. Hang on a minute, my wife's calling me.
He says, "Yeah, no, go."
Hang
Hold on.
Hello, Brooke. You're live on the podcast.
Hi, my fan.
Special
Hi.
guest.
Yeah.
I just realised I didn't ring you. I didn't ring you
No,
back.
that's all right. We're just recording, so you're just on right now. What?
Well, no, 'cause you're going to have to edit it out, aren't you?
No. If you could rate.
Totally depends on whatever comes
Yeah.
next.
If you could rate your mood out of 100% for this week, what would you rate your mood?
Rate my mood.
Yeah.
I'd rate my mood.
Well, not really mood. Is it? Would we say mood?
How are you?
Yeah, like how are you
as
on
a
a scale of a
percentage.
percentage up to 100%?
Okay, 65.
Oh,
Okay.
see,
What
I
did
said
you do?
70, but you're quite low as well then.
But then
Well, yeah, just because I've got a newborn baby, but I also have had quite a bit of sleep in the last 3 nights, so you know.
Oh, Mason.
Yeah.
That means you've been stepping up.
No.
Oh,
No.
that means he's been good.
No, Brooke, to be fair, like Brooke's got those night shifts covered.
And to be fair, she's having to share lots of her calories, which you don't have to do.
No.
There you go. That's
Yeah.
yeah. 65%.
Oh, okay.
Because really, you should add 30% because you share. Well, so I think that's the amount of your calories that you give to the baby.
Is it 30%?
when you're breastfeeding. Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
This is a jiu-jitsu podcast. Can you tell?
Well, there you go. Yeah.
All right.
You're going to ask me to tell you something else about jiu-jitsu then, but I thought, no, I won't.
What's
Yeah,
her
go on.
thoughts
Yeah,
on
go on.
Yeah,
jiu-jitsu?
go on.
No, that's fine.
Give me
I'm
a-
just popping into town.
Give me a thought. Give me a what's your thoughts on jiu-jitsu?
No, Mason, I'm not doing it. You know what I think.
It's amazing.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll let you get on then.
All right then.
Did you want to have an actual chat?
No, it's all right. I'll speak to you after. I'll ring you after.
All right, then.
All right,
See
love you. Bye.
Special guest.
There you go. Yeah.
I think she might join.
Never, never, ever, ever will you get her on those mats. Never.
So that's our third ever guest, isn't it?
Yeah.
She'll have to
Brooke
get-
Goldstein episode.
Yeah. I was
Nice.
gonna say she'll have to get something, but I can't say what. Can I? Can we
What?
telling people about the?
Oh, no, not yet.
No. Okay.
Top secret.
Yeah.
If you've already been on the podcast, not that there's a lot of you, there's only one guest, isn't
Yeah.
there? So
Yeah.
far,
Big Bernie.
we'll have to retroactively give you a gift.
Yes.
We're going to give every.
I think we're gonna
every.
do. We might take it later to the open mat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We can give him that one and I'll do another.
Yeah.
Yeah. So every guest gets a gift
Yes.
of high value.
And it's pink eye.
Right.
Bernie, yours is coming.
So you're 70%.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
John's a 50, and I'm 70.
You're basically 80, but you just don't want to say it.
Just always 80.
Yeah.
Just never change.
But that's how you know that. Like if I'm
You've got a stable life.
if I'm any different, you'll know it because
Yeah.
it's not going to be an 80 anymore.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
Or if I'm having a great day. for
well, you're
whatever
on
reason.
79.5,
I
so
always-
Exactly.
what the fuck's happened?
It's the start of a downward spiral.
Yeah. I don't. Next week he'll be like
10.
homeless, sat outside milk and bean. Any change, sir?
Can I have a custard tart?
I always don't know how to base my percentages anyway,
No?
because I always think I've got a lot on, but it doesn't make me sad. It just makes my mind busy.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that makes
Yeah,
me.
I don't mind. I like being hectic in the sense of having lots to do.
See, I don't think that's good for you.
No?
No, I think I've had with like stuff that I've had in the past, and I've always found that if I make myself busy, then that's when you have crashes.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that might
yeah,
be it.
yeah.
Could be.
Just take some time, John. Relax.
That's what I did. I took the whole January off.
Oh yeah.
I was on a high.
Yeah. Now you're on a come down.
Yeah.
So, a topic to discuss is seminars,
Ooh.
which we said we would
Yeah.
chat about. We had a seminar at Newbury on Thursday.
Sounded like it was really good.
It was Ash Williams. I think he's
Welsh. Yep.
Welsh. He runs. Is it him? Is it him himself, or is it him and his brother that own Drake?
I think
I'm not
it's
sure if both of them
two
or
of them. There are two of them.
It
Obviously.
might be
Yeah.
him and his
They're
brother then.
brothers, but
Yeah.
yeah, and it was a no-gi seminar covering front headlock
Yes.
stuff, which was really good and really beneficial. We didn't get a lot of people turn up to it, which I
No.
think is partly what we'd like to speak about because
Yeah.
there's lots of reasons for that.
Well, one of the people that didn't turn up is sat here now. So,
John
Hello.
Morgan.
yeah.
Why weren't you there?
Why wasn't I there?
Yeah.
Uh,
You've done all jiu-jitsu now. You completed it. You can't be taught
That's the thing,
anything
I've-
else.
I started prestiging
Like a
now.
World champion, one of the best
I'm
in the
nearly
country.
at my first prestige. Once I get my black belt, go back down to white belt, start again.
I think you've already done that.
Well, I've already prestiged.
Yeah, when I roll with you, it feels like you're already white belt.
Why wasn't I there? Numerous reasons. One, I didn't want to spend 40 quid on another seminar. I wanted to get some just sparring in. What else? And there's just certain things in my game that I'm working on.
That you want to concentrate on and not be
Distracted.
distracted. Okay.
To be fair,
Yeah.
I can that last point I can sort of go that. So I was a bit. I kept saying to you, I don't know. One was 40 quid. I was like, I don't know, like the pricing structure of seminars I find are always a bit odd. And obviously that's because you wouldn't
Experience and
pay,
level and
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. You wouldn't pay 40 quid for like John to do a seminar,
Hold up.
but
Depends
does
where
it?
you are.
Huh?
Because say if it's a town or something that gets like no
Yeah.
people,
Yeah, yeah.
someone might pay to see my shit.
Yeah, it's difficult because how do you value, like, that's not specific to Newbury or Ash or anyone. Like,
No.
That's the whole thing, is when you compare the cost of a seminar to how much you pay for how much you train a month. You're like, that's a huge chunk. That
Yeah, so-
could be your entire
Yeah, it could be your whole month's
your
worth of
budget to how
of
much
training.
you
Yeah, exactly.
train a month.
Yeah. Shall I tell you? This is just going off randomly. Just popped into my head. I'm going to say something that I don't necessarily agree with,
Oh,
That's okay.
and it is that I don't believe that if you pay for a seminar, I don't then believe that you should then be covering that in classes after the seminar, because you've paid for that knowledge.
and then everyone else is getting it
If
for
I
free.
knew I was just going to get it the week after for free, I wouldn't pay for that seminar.
Which is
That's
a
a
good
good point.
Good point.
Yeah.
Because you don't really want to be like, it's really difficult because you don't ever want to purposely keep things to yourself, especially as a coach or a school
Yeah.
owner, because you want to share all your knowledge
That's
with all
it.
your students.
And in the jiu-jitsu world, we love to share the stuff.
Yeah.
But I do understand what you mean, because it's like you also have to respect the fact that the person teaching the seminar has basically put together a specific product. So it's not like they might do a seminar differently to how they would normally structure a lesson
Just
at
teach
their
a
school,
class, yeah.
let's say. And someone's put a lot of time and effort to writing that and to teaching it in a certain way.
Especially because, like he said to us, oh, this normally takes like 5 hours to teach, and I've
We only
compressed it
had
down to
2
2
hours.
hours. And so it was very, very quick. There wasn't a major amount of time for drilling each point, but how he did it was like he'd do the main, like your main meat, which was like a sweep from front headlock and then into like anaconda chokes we went on to. But it was very. Do you know what? I could almost say that it was touching on an ecological kind of way, because it was like the main meat was there, but then it was loads of little details. Oh no, I suppose it wouldn't really be, would it? Thinking about it now, but yeah, then there was like loads of little details from the main bulk of everything, like broken down backwards, if that makes sense, to help. I'd really enjoyed it. I've used it.
I do think like your point of not using it in the classes after is almost like, do you do it say a month later? So almost like, you pay to watch UFC, but then maybe like a month
Yeah.
later the videos come
Yeah,
out of
Because
what
do you
happened in the matches.
devalue the
Value of going
product
to
that
yeah.
they've
Well,
come
it's
up
like
with?
if I've paid, if I go into a shop and pay 40 quid for something because I want it now,
Yeah.
but then 2 days later I could just walk into somewhere and get it for free. It's like, and I don't want to cause any upset there by saying it. I just thought
It's a valid point.
that would be my opinion on it, because I feel like it's almost like people sharing seminars, isn't it? On the sort of like,
Or instructionals and stuff.
everyone's got instructionals that other people have paid for, and then they've been shared around.
Well, Annie quite correctly
I don't know who does that.
Yeah.
to us.
Did you just say I don't know who does that?
Yeah.
I don't know who do
I fucked up my sentence.
You've been listening to too much country music.
Because he said if you want to video it, then absolutely do.
But he said only for personal
But
use.
for your to remind yourself of it and to use yourself, not to put up on social media or whatever, because again, that the action of doing that devalues what they're trying to sell, and that's the meat and potatoes for athletes.
Yeah.
Because they, especially in jiu-jitsu, because they
That's how they
don't
make their
get
money.
good pay for comps or anything like that. So the fact that they get success at competitions and then can do a seminar tour around the UK is the business model for how to make not all your money if you've got your own jiu-jitsu school or whatever, but certainly extra money, and like you have to be paid fairly for being a UK champion or a world champion, because you don't get that for actually winning the competitions. You have to get the money back somehow.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably the best way for people to do it. Something that I thought about was that it's hard depending on how many. Yeah,
Can I
sorry.
just make one last point on what I was
Yeah.
saying? What I meant about the thing was that that's the way of doing it, where you pay for a seminar and then get taught the stuff that discourages people going to seminar.
Yes.
And the whole point is that you want to try and get more people to those seminars, because then it benefits the club, benefits you personally, it benefits the athlete.
Then you won't get the same standard just by the fact it's been through another person. No matter how good or how much attention that person was paying, if you're black belt coach or brown belt coach, doesn't matter. It still had to go through some translation to the person, to you.
And I suppose whenever you translate something, you always translate it to a bit of kind of how you would do it in your own game. Maybe I wouldn't know, because I've never really done that. But
yeah, and so you don't get the proper product and all the little details, and it's been taught a certain way, and like all the analogies Ash had to describe the way to do it and stuff like that was really useful.
yeah. But
So
yeah,
it's difficult to strike a balance, right, between letting yourself internalize some extra knowledge and then teaching that because that's how we do everything, or do you wait until they're done with but then they're not coming back to your academy, so why would you wait to teach it to people if you're going to wait?
No, I know. I
It's-
get it. I get that there's two sides to it. I just think it was, for me personally, to be like, well, if I'd have... Is it bad to say that if I'd have known that, I probably wouldn't have gone to the seminar? If I'd have known that we were just going to...
No, it's definitely something to think about.
Yeah.
But
Because
that just shows what other people's thought process might have been.
Potentially, yeah.
yeah, and I think the other thing that, well, there's a few things. I think some...
But it also can be down to just the way things are at the moment. People just don't have the money.
Yeah.
I think that's quite a big
And I
one.
guess-
It's almost a disposable. It's not, because you gain the instruction from a really good person.
But then mixed in with the first comment of like you're going to end up learning it the next day anyway.
Yeah.
It's a bit like going out for something to eat. You're like, it's nice at the time and you enjoy it and you get something out of it, but then you're done. Whereas if you were to buy a coat, let's say,
Yeah.
you've paid that, but you get to experience
A
the benefit
material
of that
thing, yeah.
over a very long period of time,
Unless
it.
you go somewhere shit for
and
it.
get a bad coat.
Yeah.
And you have to, yeah.
But then I suppose a counterpoint to my thing would be that naturally, if you had a seminar and then in a club, people will go up to other people and say, "Oh, what did you do in that seminar?" So I suppose I'm not saying like hold the knowledge under lock and key. Like I'm not, you know.
No.
I'm just saying it from a point of that I believe it probably would discourage people to do the seminars, and then that, in a knock-on effect, then stops the clubs from being able to put on seminars, because when you don't get the numbers, you can't cover the costs.
So I also think it's hard to know if someone hasn't been to a seminar taught by that particular person.
Yeah.
You don't quite know what you're going to get.
See, if there was another Ash seminar, I'd be all over it, just
Yep.
because I loved the way he taught. I thought it was funny. He was a funny guy. Like
Yeah.
it was amazing. I'd love for him to do a gi. He's mainly no gi though, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think
He does
he's-
train in the gi.
Yeah, but because we've spoken about this before, the style of competitions and the better
Yeah, it's
paid
all going
competitions are all
towards
no
no
gi.
gi, yeah.
But I think a lot of the big names all started in
Gi.
the gi, especially in this country.
Yeah,
too.
I'd love to do a
Or this
seminar
country,
with
Wales,
him,
but
but in the gi.
yeah.
All
And
right,
I think
Sam. This country.
no, I just mean he's not English, is he?
Well, all
Racist.
right.
I didn't want to offend him by saying in this
Jesus.
country. The Welsh are
What are you
a
gonna
proud
do? What are you gonna do, Trump? Start building a fucking wall?
I'm partly Welsh.
Exactly.
Shut the bridges. Don't let him in.
I don't want to offend him or any Welsh
Deeply
people.
offended.
But anyway,
I like to just not admit that I have Welsh in me. So
you can tell
I'm
by
English.
looking at you.
I'm English.
Your squiffy eyes and your strong back.
No, you look more Scottish.
Scottish.
Yeah, they look
Yeah.
like, don't they? He looks Scottish.
The red hair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just English as far as I'm aware.
All right.
I'm partly Welsh, but let's keep that under.
Yeah, and so sometimes just because someone is a great sports person doesn't make them a good teacher.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Yeah.
And sometimes you'll pay tons for a seminar. Like
I sometimes-
twice that, and it's fucking shit.
Yeah.
Do you think Gordon Ryan's good at teaching?
No. I fucking cannot stand Gordon Ryan.
Like his instructionals, I
Him
can't.
and John
It makes
Danaher.
me so tired.
Literally. John Danaher?
Okay.
Danaher.
Danaher.
I don't give a fuck how you say his name. 'Cause that man should be fucking locked up. Anyone who walks around publicly in a rash guard and puts a leather jacket over the top of it and goes to a fucking public function, they should not be walking the streets. But how anyone watches his drony fucking boring voice for like 10 hours explaining an armbar, right? I don't know. I can't even think. They probably need locking up as well.
Someone told me they listened to an episode. I can't remember who it was, but they said they listened to him explain like a grip or some grips for like an hour, and then by the end of it, he's pretty much said it doesn't really matter.
Oh, exactly.
And it was just like a complete waste of time.
Yeah, and I think.
But anyway,
fuck
Gordon Ryan. I'm on the Craig Jones train.
Yeah.
I think everyone is really.
But I think that's a good thing to point out though, because sometimes if someone teaches or they learn in the same style you do, because everybody takes things in or they learn differently. So if someone teaches in the style that's good for the way that you learn stuff, you'll really enjoy that, right? So
I don't think that the best competitors are the best teachers, because
not normally, no.
To be a really good competitor, you have your own solid, focused game. The best teachers are not necessarily the best people at jiu-jitsu, but they're the best people to understand the game as a whole, and that they don't force. I don't like people that force upon a sentence that I don't like necessarily too much in a coaching environment is, this is what I do, or this works for me, because I think it should be one of those rounded things that's like loads of different points from one position.
So I really enjoyed teaching people with different physical attributes, because it makes you a better teacher, because someone will say, I just tried to do that and I can't do X, and you're like, you can't do X, so you've got to have to do then change it. I can't do Y, therefore I'll have to move my hips differently, and you have to work that out.
But Ash Williams was good at that, because he was a point where basically he asked, so he was like, it started off with him saying there's not many very big people in this gym, whereas John Harrison was very, very over the moon with that. And then basically this guy turned up late, this big lad from, I think, Basingstoke? Yeah, from Basingstoke. And I can't remember what he said he was, 105, 110.
Yeah, it was over 100.
Something like that. Anyway, Sam got paired up with him. But what was funny is that he did this whole drill and Sam was paired up with him. And then at the end, he was like talking and he was like, basically saying, this technique works on the right person. Like if you've got short arms and they've got a big
all
neck,
techniques.
like all techniques. And then, so Sam's just done 2 hours of training with this guy and he turns around and goes, would I do this technique on Tony? And he's like, fuck no. Sam's just like, 2 hours of my life I'm not getting back.
Yeah, but I think actually Ash was really good at I think when people think you're going to a seminar with a world champion or something, it's going to be complicated. And I think the best seminars often simplify stuff to a conceptual. And I think he catered for all levels really well. So at the start, like he checked who was there, what kind of grade you are, and he used a white belt as a kind of a yardstick.
Yes.
To ask them questions and to check they understood stuff.
Yeah, so he was
not
like,
in a patronising way, but it's a case of if that person understands it, in theory, everyone else in this room
because that's what he
should
said.
understand
He said,
it.
he said, if you know, he said, every time I ask something, I'm going to ask you. And he said, if you say yeah, everyone knows. He said, there's no questions asked. And he said, if was it Patrick?
Yeah, Patrick.
If Patrick says yes, he said, you all say yes, and that's it. So he was like, Patrick, do you know what a triangle is? And Patrick was like, yes. And he's like, right, everyone knows what a triangle is. We're not going back to that. And it was like, all right, yeah, fair enough.
No.
Which is true, because it's that he said, as long as you've all been training 6 months or more, wasn't it, really?
But
What if someone had an accident?
What do you mean?
Don't remember anything.
Oh,
then all
Groundhog
hope's
Day.
lost, yeah. But I think that can be something that turns off beginners to go into seminars, because I think they think they're not going to understand it.
yeah, they're
And
probably
there have
like
been
too technical.
seminars I've been to, and there will still be seminars that I will probably turn up to and think, I don't understand what the fuck's going on here. I don't understand. This isn't staying in my head. It's
Yeah.
not anything in my game to do with this that I enjoy. Therefore, I have no basis to even attach all this stuff
Yeah.
to. But then sometimes you'll go to a seminar and it's very basic but very comprehensive, like very detailed but in a simple kind
Yeah.
of a way. And you can take as much or as little as you like out of it. And I really rated that. And we've had some Daniel Strauss's seminars.
Yeah, see, I
have been
I used, so
great.
from his seminar, there was a butterfly suite, and it literally instilled in me from that moment onwards, and I always use it, But then, if you asked me to do something from like, maybe I could remember. I was thinking like from the Yuki seminars, I struggle to take stuff away from it, and I
That's
don't know
the beauty
why.
of getting different people in, because
Yeah, exactly.
some things work for some people and some people don't. Because like
Yeah.
Yuki, I still use the bread cutter that he showed.
Yeah.
It's like,
That's my like gi choke for DEF CON 2, where you like, I'm trying to do everything else in this person. It's just not, I can't quite get them there. I'm like, right, we're switching it up to DEF CON 2, get
Yeah.
into side control and just cut the fuck out of their neck. And I'm
I
just
was-
like, yep.
Gonna say I couldn't remember anything, but now I'm just thinking about it. I always use that on my Plata escape. You know,
I
you roll,
use that
when you roll
all the
underneath
time,
them,
which is
Yeah.
great. And there's an element of that because that's not traditionally the direction people
escape,
travel to
yeah.
escape, and that's partly why it's so good.
so that's what I used when I was a white belt, wasn't it?
I've
at the
used
competition.
that my whole stretch.
After he taught it, I used it at a competition, went to a reverse triangle.
Was that the Sub-Only, the Birmingham one?
No, this was white belt.
Because I
This is my
used
second.
You know that comp white belt.
The second time competing, I think it was.
it. Yeah.
That day was when I think Ashi versed Vic as well.
Oh right.
They
But-
compete against each
But
other.
yeah, that's really good. That
But
one.
I think with seminars, it's difficult because you're not going to go. I mean, unless you're like some freak with like right up on the TISM scale, but most people will not take the whole amount of knowledge away from a seminar.
No.
But what I'll say about the Ash Williams seminar is that the way he taught it, which was literally like, here's the sweep into the entry, here's the choke. It wasn't like, I've been to seminars where it's like, oh, we're doing a bit of this on the back, and then all of a sudden we're doing a foot lock, and then, oh, now there's an armbar, and it's like, well, then, but because they want to try and cram as much information into that 2 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour slot or whatever. Whereas really, yeah, okay, it seems like not boring, but if I was to go to that seminar, Ash's seminar, it's 5 hours long of that headlock stuff. I think 2 hours was perfect, but some people would probably be like, what, we're just going to do literally just this arm in.
But then you
headlock
get
for-
all the time, lots of people say, we do technique in lesson, and then I come to sparring and it goes out of my head. I'm like, the best way to get that into your head is to come to a 2 hour seminar, 3 hour seminar if you're going to like Daniel
Just
Strauss
drill,
one.
drill.
And do the same
Yeah.
or variations of the same choke or the same
Isn't that
something
the
over and
definition
over
of
again.
insanity?
Yeah.
Sounds like you'd enjoy my seminar.
What's yours, the walrus guard?
No, I did close guard, back take, and then a choke. So I kept everything just in like
Yeah,
a little
nice.
chain.
Old standard. But I
Classical.
think you can also pick seminars based. So So first of all, it's difficult as a white belt, especially, to know what you're going to get and if it's going to be suitable to you. Because if it's going to be too much to take in and complicated, and I don't understand, you basically pissed away however much you've spent on it. The other thing that you and I spoke about the other day is that.
Oh, was that John getting demoted back to purple belt?
No, we're not supposed to talk about that.
I thought it was blue belt.
You wish.
Yeah, you're not that good.
Was that our club is predominantly, the main classes are taught in a gi.
Yeah.
There are no gi classes specifically, but
Most of them in the morning.
predominantly all the classes are taught in a gi.
Did you just fart?
I did.
To be fair, he leant away from the microphone. No.
No, he leant towards it.
I've been brewing that one in. It's hurting my stomach.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Sorry.
We actually record in quite a big space, so
Yeah, it'd be fine.
We're not trapped in a box or anything. So,
No.
and I'm the furthest one away from your bum.
So
So
half an hour and Sam just goes, it's hit me.
I can see it just travelling.
lost my train of thought now.
Sorry.
The gi, yeah.
Yes.
And because no gi is popular and most of the biggest athletes are mostly focusing on no gi because of the better, higher pay, higher level competitions, obviously all their seminars are going to be no gi as well. And I think, again, especially as a beginner, it's easy to make the assumption that, oh, I haven't done any no gi, or I haven't done really like a lot of no gi, so I feel like I'm not going to understand it. It's not different. It's not really different. The only difference is there isn't a gi to grab onto.
I like to look at that as so again, when I said to you, didn't I, John, about potentially not doing the seminar, because I was like, I'm just not interested in no gi anymore. Like, I just love training in the gi, but then I just sort of thought to myself, I was like, do you know what? I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then I thought, whatever we do, I'm gonna make it a mission to see if I can transition it over. Like, if, say, he didn't do it, or he didn't, because he did say, he was like, you could use this in the gi if you want, but there's a lot more stuff going on, and then we've sort of covered it in the gi, but yeah, I was basically like, I'm gonna try and make it my mission to try and see if I can transition whatever I learn over to my gi game. But yeah, newish guys, white belts and stuff like that, they then probably it's not insulting to say that they're probably not in a position to want to do that if they're like focusing on the gi.
Yeah, I think it's easy to make the assumption that you won't get much out of it because you're only just trying to get to grips, literally, with the gi, and you're like, I'm just trying to learn, just like you trying to say I need to learn a different style of jiu-jitsu. Like, it's all, the stuff is all exactly the same, but I understand when you're just trying to get to grips with regular jiu-jitsu in a gi, then going to a no-gi seminar you've paid extra to do might be a bit intimidating, of like, I don't think it's going to be my cup of tea, which again, it's, so I think if we ever had either Ash or Daniel Strauss come back, because I've been to their seminars and I know the way they structure a seminar and how they teach, and you can get a lot out of it no matter whether you've only just started or you've been doing it for years and years and years. And I think for students to have faith in the fact that whoever's coming in to do a seminar has been kind of not like checked over, but like has the stamp of approval that you could get something, like everyone can get something out of this. But I do think the gi to no gi thing, especially as we're a predominantly gi club.
What we need to do is just get art jiu-jitsu in.
I suspect they'll be the kind of people who would charge hundreds to do a seminar.
No, thousands.
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
The Mendez.
Yeah, but who? Yeah, but there's loads of people that train there that do.
Mendez brothers and Tan and Delpra.
Yeah. I think there's people that there's some seminars that are like £2,000.
I can imagine Mendez probably maybe
Quite a
more than
lot.
that.
Yeah.
If it's,
And that's the kind of thing
tour.
I'd not turn up to. Like,
Yeah, God no.
Like, so that, like, even if it was £100, I'd still be like, I don't feel like that cost to me, the cost to benefit you'd get from that.
I would never spend more than my monthly fee on a one-off lesson. That's how I'd base
Same.
mine.
Yeah, that's quite a good way of doing it. So you're laughing because obviously instructors don't necessarily
Yeah.
have to pay to train. So John's being a dick.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mason.
Thank you.
So
I was going
that-
to say about you said about Daniel Strauss.
Yeah.
See, I wouldn't probably do another Daniel Strauss seminar.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. I've gone off of him
Why?
because he. So there's been a lot of this going through my mind at the moment. He.
Is this why you've dropped in like percentage?
No. He focuses too much on like I don't really use social media anymore, but when I did, I followed him on Instagram, and all it ever is about this fucking strength stuff and like how to get big forearms and stuff like that. And I'm like, so are you trying to focus yourself on saying, oh, if you want to be good at jiu-jitsu, you need to have big forearms? Like what relevance is he trying to bring that across to his audience for?
I think he just does it for fun though, doesn't he? Rather than for jiu-jitsu. He
Yeah,
just
I know,
enjoys
but
his strength.
his market, his captive market is people that train jiu-jitsu, isn't it really? I would say, no?
But then I think the theory is everything's based on, like, your grip is the point of failure for almost all techniques.
But I see a lot of people at the moment, I don't know why it's like this big thing about talking about, like, even Ash said it about like, oh, you know, everyone, if you train jiu-jitsu, everyone should lift weight and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know, I'm just not on board with it. I'm like, why would you spend, again, this, I say stuff on this podcast that could probably make me sound like a fucking idiot, but why would you try and concentrate on, I get like strength and conditioning, I'm not saying that, but as like a hobbyist or like just someone who wants to get better at jiu-jitsu, yeah, why would you take time to focus yourself in the gym when you should be focusing on your technique?
I would argue gym time. So I personally have, like, I don't enjoy going to the gym.
Yeah,
I don't
neither
enjoy
do I.
exercise
Same.
for the sake of exercise. I think that's
Tell that,
partly
John.
I think that's partly why we're all into jiu-jitsu, because it's so engaging.
Yeah.
It's not just exercise.
Feels
for the
like a
sake of
video
exercise.
game.
Yeah. But I think, and not that I do, like I would really like to be able to do a strength and conditioning session maybe once or twice a week, and that's not for getting stronger, it's not for get my jiu-jitsu any better. I think the theory is injury prevention.
Yeah, which is what I say. I get that. Like,
Yeah.
I understand. I do understand it, but I think people go around it the wrong way of like trying to say, if you want to be good at jiu-jitsu, you need to be lifting weights twice a week, 3 times a week at a minimum. I always hear it. I hear it all the time. People saying, if you want to be good at jiu-jitsu,
I think that's just a buzzword.
yeah,
Like,
it's
just-
isn't it? Yeah, but it's like, well, hang on a minute, because if you then spent that extra 2 or 3 hours in a jiu-jitsu gym or getting a 1-to-1, using that gym membership to get a 1-to-1, then you're probably going to get better at jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just don't get that. That's why I've just avoided that whole thing about like you need to be big and strong to train jiu-jitsu. No, like the whole
Look at Sean.
yeah.
He's
Look at-
tiny.
He's pathetic.
Yeah. Nothing to
Oh, I would never say that about Sean.
him. Nothing to him. Just solid technique.
Skin and bones.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, he's very, like, he's probably one of the smallest in the club. Mason Goldstein.
Jesus
You
Christ.
can hear that on the microphone, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, I'm gonna have to listen
I had
to
two-
that
I had two-
over and over. I'm cutting this.
At least you'd have to smell it over and over.
No, that's true.
I had 2 boiled eggs for lunch.
Oh, God. But no, like Sean
This day's
is a
going
great
off the
example.
rails.
When anyone says to me about like I'm too small for this or something, it's like, or like it doesn't work against big people. You just got to change your game. Sean doesn't do the same thing against everyone he does. Like he's tiny and he finds a way. Like he'll still fuck me up. Sometimes.
My only argument would be that if you rolled with Sean and treated him the way you treat me, I reckon you'd probably just squash him like you do me, though.
No, like recently I've been trying to work on control, like just being able to control people and not let them out. and Sean's very good. You give him the smallest space and he'll find it and he'll be out. And even with him, trying to control him, it's still a struggle because he just finds
But again,
the
that
right
is
movement.
jiu-jitsu was created, wasn't it? Was it like you don't move the person, you move yourself around the person? No, something along them lines.
That was someone else who said that.
Was it?
That was me.
No, it wasn't.
Knowledge.
Was it you?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm not sure I was the first person to ever say that, but
Sam
I teach
Cheswick,
that quite a lot.
2025.
Because if you're strong enough and have enough technique to move the other person, great. But
That's not technique though.
there's a certain amount
That's
of
strength. There's a difference.
No,
And I don't have
it's a
strength.
combination of those two. You're applying a force to a certain amount of another person, right?
Yeah.
You might need a lot, or you might not need very much at all. If you're twisting a knee, you don't need a lot of force to make someone topple over
No.
or tap,
Yeah.
right?
Or scream in pain.
Yeah.
If they leave their hook in.
But if you're trying to actually turn them under the hip or something, then and they're bigger than you and stronger than you, you don't have as much of a lever, and there's no pain compliance or anything like that, and it's a joint that isn't designed to move very much, so therefore you need extra strength. And that's the same thing as picking and choosing. Like when we did the seminar and Ash at the end said, would I do this to Tony? Fuck no. Because he'll pick and choose. If you're with a Tony and
That's when you're missing your shin bone.
that particular choke is like you have to physically get your arms around their head and arm to do that choke, or lots of other chokes where someone's head and arm is so big, and we said, like, is the juice ever worth the squeeze? And that's always what it is. But if you were going to be fighting Tony in the absolute, probably attack a small joint, or if you're in the gi, wrap that gi around his neck and fucking yeet, right?
Yeah.
Because everybody chokes.
Or
There's
do a
the-
Jeff Glover, run up their leg and armbar them.
Oh yeah, I love that video.
Like a ninja.
Yeah, that's so good.
Yeah, and so
I'm
there's
gonna do that one on you later.
I think there's a
Blow my knee out.
Marcelo
Yeah.
Garcia quote where he's like, I don't focus a lot of my time on arm locks or trying to do joint locks, because if I'm competing in an absolute, I'm going to really struggle to do that. So it's not a good investment of time, right? But if I can choke really well, no matter how big or strong you are,
See, I'd
everybody
say-
chokes.
I would say that I find it easier. I find it easier to finish joint locks than I do chokes. I think it's quite a lot of effort
Yeah,
to
but
finish
I
a
don't
choke.
think you train with people with the same disparity of... Like, there's not many people in Newbury who are over 90 kilos.
Yeah.
Certainly not over 100. Not a lot.
No, there's like none.
But I think when you get up to that stage...
Well, you would say it's easier to choke someone bigger than you than it is to.
Yeah. It's easier.
I get
to
with
choke
like
someone bigger
a
than you than to
sunken like
armbar
rear
them.
naked or something, but I mean
Yeah.
I'm talking about like, like cross collar gi chokes and stuff like that. Would you still say fair? Okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah,
That's always been an attitude I've tried to have as well. And again, it's that thing of if they're bigger and stronger than you, to joint lock someone, you have to be able to maneuver the limb. And if it's a really fucking strong limb, and you're a tiny person, even if you're arm barring them, like if you've got your hips and arms against someone's arm and you're still trying to, and it'd be strong enough to bicep curl and just say no.
Like James.
Yeah,
Old
big
James.
Yeah, he was fucking massive.
Like, I think I was a
Strong.
white belt at that point, maybe blue.
Yeah.
But even then, I was just like, this
last
guy's
week.
so much bigger than me. Like, the only thing I would do is try and get to his ankle and just ankle lock him.
that's what I do with you.
Yeah,
Exactly the same thing.
yeah.
Like,
But
the
that's
small
the same,
joints.
They've got their armor on. That's what that is. If
Yeah.
you want to attack someone in,
I tried
So-
Kimura
Starting
him
on
one
the mic.
time, and I was just like, I felt like I was trying to Kimura a tree trunk or something.
and it's the same thing. Like, so where do you find the chinks in the armor? Is normally around the neck or around the feet. It's anywhere there's a joint, sure, but like if you have to pierce it somewhere to gain maximum effective damage, neck, just shut off the computer
For good.
Right.
Yeah.
for good.
Do you know what's interesting? We got onto this subject from
Seminars.
seminars.
I know, tangent,
Yeah.
much,
I know.
but it all comes back to it.
how long?
Really. We're just over an hour.
I've got to go.
Yeah, I've got loads of work to do. Maybe we'll leave it there and maybe come back to this. But we've touched on a few things. It'll be interesting to hear from people as to if you enjoyed the seminar and what you got out of it, or if you didn't come to the seminar, your reasoning why,
or just
like it's
seminars
not
in general.
Yeah,
Like if
not that one
If
specifically.
you're into seminars and you love them, some people travel all around the country doing seminars. But if you just still like, I mean, I guess hobbyists, and I say that in sort of like quotes, as in I don't really use that term, but if you just train in jiu-jitsu, like, you're probably going to look at it in the angle of, well, what's he going to teach me that my coach can't? You know, so that's probably why you don't get a lot of those guys turning up to
Depends on your
seminars.
coach, because, like, for instance, if you come to a Friday morning 6:30,
I didn't even know there was a Friday morning class.
because you're asleep.
Yeah, I only do the Friday lunchtime class. So I heard that there's like this.
How many were in last
fucking-
Friday?
9.
9.
Yeah.
Oh, the same as me. We had 9 in the morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
It's fucking mental, but I've heard there's this like really skilled blue belt that's been covering the classes every now and then on a Friday lunchtime. And
There's your problem.
there was
Blue belt.
there was words thrown around. There was like best class ever, best Friday class I've ever been to.
Anyone who goes to that class, I can guarantee is getting choked out on a regular
I reckon.
class.
Fine, let's call it now. I reckon. In 2 months' time, we'll have a battle of the
What?
Friday mornings versus the Friday lunchtimes.
I'm not sure
See,
how you do that.
Nervous laugh.
No, that was a laugh of just...
We'll have to
I've
meet
got-
at brunch.
We've got all the Johns in the morning class.
Yeah. What? Just because her name's John?
That's all we need.
No.
All the Johns in the club could fuck up anyone.
Never.
Any group of other names.
I've lost the will to live now. I think.
Get all the Masons together. All the Johns will mess them up.
We only need one. One is enough.
It's only one Mason Custody. Right, well, I've really got to go back to work.
Yeah, same.
We'll call it there. If you've got seminar thoughts, do give us a shout. We're trying to get people to send in more voice notes because they're
fun.
quite good. It's kind of nice to hear people's voices and have people.
Next
actually
episode,
on
though,
the
is going to be a
podcast.
good one. It's going to be fun. Might be quite long, potentially.
Vic. Yeah. From Battle Soap.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's going to be a good one. Any questions for him? Let us know.
Yeah.
I think mainly if you pick up on things about like what you know hygiene sort of things and
We'll
stuff.
probably
like that.
put a comment out on the
Yeah.
page for people to respond and...
Yeah, I think it's a massive one. I think it's something that's not spoken enough about.
especially for beginners.
I won't delve into it, but there was a time the other day where someone... Oh, no, I don't know if I should say that. No, don't worry. I'll talk about it next time.
I think I know what you're going to say.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
man.
No. You know, because I said to you after the class, I was like,
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
After a class?
Yeah.
Or was it seminar?
no.
Right,
no.
this is the end of the podcast.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1.
3, bye.
Well, hold on.
I need a poo.
Yeah, I can smell it. Respect the process.
Right.
3, 2, 1. I said 3, 2, 1 and you're the only one who clapped.